Happy New Year, everybody. Wait, what? Yes, it is a new year. It's not the Gregorian calendar new year, as in January 1st, but it is the astrological new year. Today is the spring equinox, and there's a supermoon tonight in Libra, and the sun is in Aries, and Aries is the beginning of the astrological new year. So, Happy New Year! So if you have been slacking off on a few of those goals that you set at the beginning of the Gregorian New Year, January 1st, and you needed a second chance, well, here it is. This is your second chance to jump on those goals and really get going and achieving them. But today we're not going to talk about setting goals. We're going to kind of talk about releasing some things, as in decluttering. And I know I made a short video about this previously, but I wanted to go into a little bit more detail about what decluttering can really look like, as well as what it can do for your life. So since this is the beginning of another new year, as in the astrological new year, we want to release some things. And spring is all about spring cleaning. That's where the term comes from. Spring cleaning, where we go through our homes and we kind of get rid of stuff that we don't need any longer. We give our homes a really good scrub down and realignment, so to speak. So that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today. All right. Okay, so my name is Gina, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for joining the family. There is a little red button down below, so if you feel so inclined, please go ahead and click that, and you will get notified whenever I upload new content once you click the bell beside that little red button as well. So what kind of content do I upload? Well, I'm a certified herbalist, so I'll talk about different kind of herbs and essential oils, because I'm also an aromatherapy consultant. I also do crystal Reiki, where it's basically energetic healing, and I can go into a little bit more of that detail in another video if you want to get some more information on that. I wear a lot of different hats. I'm also an artist. I'm a mom. I'm so many different things. So there will be a lot of variety in the content that I upload on this channel, but it will always be content that will be beneficial to everyone who is watching, whether it's just something you're interested in or you really are fighting like a chronic illness. And some of the information that I share with you will be beneficial for that. I was diagnosed with lupus among a few other things several years ago, so I'll also share my journey with overcoming chronic illness with you using a variety of different things. So like I said before, it is a new year. It's a spring equinox. There's a full moon tonight, which is the full moon is typically about releasing. The new moon, you call in your new intentions. You set your new intentions and you watch them grow until the full moon. And at the full moon, typically there's a releasing. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today, a little bit of releasing. Aries and the springtime is all about new beginnings. It's when you notice all of the flowers that have been dormant under all of that heavy snow. If you are living up north or in really cold areas, they start to come back to life. And that's what we want to do with your homes as well as your body. So today I'm going to be talking about decluttering, and I'm going to be sharing with you some areas that you might have thought about doing decluttering, but some areas that you might not have thought about. So let's jump into this information, shall we? Some of this information that I'm going to be sharing with you will also be shared in more detail in my online course called Roadmap to Multidimensional Wellness, and I will cover a host of other material in that course as well. But today we're going to be talking about decluttering, and I'm just going to be sharing with you some areas that I believe we all could use some help in when it comes to decluttering. Would you believe me if I said that decluttering your life can actually bring you abundance? because the things that you keep in your life, or the things that you have in your home, those can actually have an impact on you personally, on your business, on your relationships. Think about this. Here's a question for you. If you had to move right now, how long would it take you to pack? How much stuff do you have in your home that you would need to move? Here's another one. How much of that stuff that you have in your home have you used in the last 6 months, in the last year, the last 5 years? I'm sure that some of you may have some things that you probably haven't looked at, things that you wouldn't miss if you got rid of it. So just think about this for a second. If you were to move, just how long would it take you to go through all of your stuff before you were actually ready? Would you have a garage sale? You probably would need to. There are probably items that you could donate to Goodwill, Salvation Army, some other local bank. Just think about that, okay? I am actually going to be moving in the next around 2 months, just over 2 months, for the second time in the year. And I've realized that I still have stuff that I would not miss if I got rid of it. When I moved into this home where I am, and I've shared a couple videos with you previously about the new home that it's a cute little home. It's a humongous backyard, but I'm actually moving to another location to be with my sister because we have some personal things going on with a baby sister at this time who is fighting cancer. So there are personal reasons for this second move. But I realize that I have stuff that I still would just rather get rid of, or donate, sell, whatever the case is. But the thing is, I got rid of so much stuff the first time I moved, just 8 months ago, about 9 months ago. And I thought that I was done, but I realized we don't need stuff in our lives, because stuff just holds us back, and it holds us down. And when you're getting ready to move, it's just stuff. So what do we really need? Think about that for a second. I get laughed at a lot when I tell people that I gave away 2/3 of my wardrobe, and I really did, because I've always said there's 7 days in a week. Just how much clothes can you really wear? And there's so many people out there who can use that. So anyway, I'm kind of digressing here, but the idea is stuff keeps us back. So let's talk about what our lives can look like when we get rid of stuff, especially stuff that we haven't looked at in 6 months, a year, 5 years. What can our lives really look like? So let's talk about some decluttering now, shall we? Okay, so decluttering. What I did was I went ahead and I started to make some notes about different areas of our lives that we can declutter. And these are some areas that we probably don't even think about when we're actually going through and doing our cleaning. So since it's springtime, let's start to spring clean, okay? So first thing on my list here is the bedroom closet. And I kind of mentioned that just now when it comes to our clothing. I had so much clothes just maybe 3 years ago, and I got rid of half of just one summer. I decided enough is enough. I don't need all of this clothes, and I got rid of them. And I realized when I was first diagnosed 6 years ago, there were some clothes that I was just so comfortable with all the time, and I kept gravitating towards those clothes. So let's talk about how would you declutter your bedroom closet. Well, one of the things that you could do is just simply go to your closet, pull all of your clothes out of the closet, put them on top of your bed, and then simply start developing maybe 3 piles. One pile could be the clothes you really like. One pile could be the clothes that you really haven't looked at in about 6 months to a year. And the next pile could be, oh, it doesn't matter how much weight I lose, or chances are those bell bottoms are not going to come back in style anytime soon, or that outfit is getting kind of worn. I've only had it for about 30 years, and um, yeah, let's release it to someone else. So you could start off doing something like that, and then you have a couple boxes. You could have it, what, Goodwill, Salvation Army, whatever the case is. Have one labeled trash if you do determine there are some things that you just need to throw away. So that would be going through your bedroom closet as far as your clothes are concerned. Now, if you keep things like bed sheets, specifically for your room in there as well, you might want to start going through those as well. Like your bed sheets, you really only need two sets of sheets. You have one set on the bed, and then you have another set that's being washed. And once you need to switch, and you just switch that around, you really only need two sets of sheets. Um, Now blankets you might need a little bit more, because it does, if you're in a northern climate and it gets really cold, then you have some thicker blankets. I personally love blankets on my bed all year long because I get cold very easily. And if you look here, I have throws all over my chairs because I like to be snug in a blanket because I just get cold so easily. So I always have extra throws and extra blankets. But as far as sheets are concerned, you really only need two sets of sheets. Now, when it comes to like towels, you don't really need a whole lot of towels either. Um, I would say maybe 2 to 3 towels per person in your home, because you're going to be doing actually maybe a little bit more. I think I have maybe 3 or 4 towels for each of us in the home. And then of course you're thinking about your bath rags. But let's go back to the towels. Go through your towels. Do you have towels that have holes in them that you really should throw away? And I know that sometimes the most comfortable towels, or the most the softest towels, are the ones that are really worn and may have, the little holes in them. But come on, seriously. Let's go ahead and just get rid of the holy ones. Keep the other ones that are a little worn still if you really just can't get rid of them right now. But if they've got holes, throw them in the trash. Don't think about donating those to anyone. Just get rid of them. All right, so shoes. I didn't talk about shoes. So let's talk a little bit about shoes. Um, if you're a shoe hoarder, go through your shoes. Um, Find the ones that you really, really, really like, or you just could not possibly do without. Put those aside, and then look at the ones that are a little worn, that you probably you're not going to replace that heel, or it's got a couple scratches on there. Maybe they're still good enough to be donated. Put them in the donate pile. If you have some that are really worn, like those sneakers that you run with every single morning and they're really comfortable, but you know you need a new pair of running shoes, trash them and get yourself a new pair of running shoes. All right, so let's go on to the bathroom. Like I said, I'm going to do this fairly quickly because there are a lot of things that I want to cover. All right, so the bathroom. Go through maybe you have a medicine cabinet. You have old medicine in there. Maybe like expired medicine that you really need to just get rid of. If you have expired prescription medication in your medicine cabinet. Now, I'm not suggesting throwing it in the trash or throwing it down the toilet. There are ways that you can dispose of this, and you can go to your local pharmacy and let them know you have this medication that you need to get rid of, and ask them if they could dispose of it for you. Don't just simply throw it into the trash or throw it down the drain or down the toilet. You don't want to do that, because then that becomes a whole other issue for the environment. So what about things like deodorant? Do you need to maybe think about maybe you have like a couple different types of deodorant in there? Think about changing your deodorant. Let's digress for a minute. One of the things you may want to think about for this upcoming for this new year is changing your deodorant to be an aluminum free deodorant, because there's so many chemicals in the stuff that we use. But like I said, that's a whole other video. But think about, do you have like multiple sticks of deodorant in there? Do you need to get rid of some? then do that. Go through your medicine cabinet and whatever kind of toiletries that you have, and see what needs to be put in the trash. All right. Let's talk about cleaners. Could be either in the kitchen or the bathroom, but I know some people keep their bathroom cleaners under the sink. So if you do that, go through your cleaners, and if you have some that have this teeny little bit left, go ahead and use it up, or just get rid of it. You don't really need multiple bottles of, different cleaners under your bathroom sink. All right, let's stick into the bathroom for a minute. If you keep your makeup in the bathroom, which chances are most of you do, you ladies, um, and if you're guys and you use your makeup, that's fine too, but we're going to talk about the same thing here. Makeup, we're going to declutter your makeup kit. Go through your makeup kit and get rid of, do you have like 6 mascaras? Um, some of them are kind of empty. Some of them are like 3 years old. Get rid of them. Do you have some, because really you're not supposed to keep your mascara for what? 3 months, I think, is what the limit is. So if you have a ton of mascara and some of them are old, go through your makeup kit and determine what is no longer needed, what's old that you need to get rid of. It's no use keeping old makeup around. You're not going to use it. And sometimes if you use really old makeup, you could transfer, like mascara, you could transfer bacteria into your eye, and then you end up with some kind of pink eye or other kind of issues with your eye. So go through your makeup kit, declutter that as well. And we're not just the mascara, but the eyeliners and the lipsticks, and do you have old foundation that you need to get rid of? All right, so let's talk about jewelry. Do you have broken bracelets? Do you have jewelry that have stones that are missing? Maybe you can just take if there's a stone, like I have a ring that has one stone missing, but it's got 4 other stones in it. And so what I'm gonna do is just simply take out the other stones and keep the stones, but you can take the metal part. If it's solid silver or solid gold, you can take that to a local pawn shop and you can sell it. Um, or you can have it melted down, whatever the case is. But don't just keep uh, jewelry with missing stones around just for the sake of it. Find a way to reuse it, give it a new life. What about necklaces that maybe the clasp is broken? Again, if it's solid gold, solid silver, take it to a local pawn shop and just sell it and get some money for it. So missing earrings that have you're missing a partner. Again, either get rid of it, throw it away, or if the pawn shop will take it because maybe there are diamonds on there, go ahead and take it in and get some money for that stuff, or just throw it away if you no longer need it. So it's broken jewelry. What about purses? I know some people who have a ton of purses, like a closet just for purses. No, I think I may have 3, and I use 2 of them on a regular basis. So if you have a ton of purses, maybe some of them are really worn, the leather has started to crack, or maybe it's that fake leather and you've noticed that it's you know starting to kind of shed, because I know some materials tend to do that. Go ahead and get rid of them. Don't even donate it, just throw it in the trash. So go through your purses and determine which ones are your favorite, which ones you can that you want to keep, which ones you can donate that are still in good condition, and the ones that are not in good shape and you just want to get rid of them. All right, so and here is a biggie for most of us. I know it is, especially for me. Old newspapers, old magazines, old mail. One option is you can go paperless. Another option, if there are certain things that you're keeping the magazines around for, maybe there's certain pictures in there, cut out the pictures, have a folder that you can put your pictures in, get rid of the rest of the magazine. Don't keep an entire magazine around just for one picture or for one article. And a lot of these magazines nowadays, they're online, so you don't even need to order magazines. So you, like I said, go completely paperless. Newspapers are the same way. You can get most newspapers online, so you don't even have to have a paper subscription where it comes to your home and then you're constantly throwing them into the recycling bin. Recycling is good, but if you don't have to recycle the paper to begin with. That saves trees. So um, let's move into the kitchen. Now, this was a huge one for me when I was initially moving into this home. I went through my entire kitchen and I donated, like, I think 2 big boxes of items. So let's start with kitchen drawers. Actually, let's talk about pots for a minute. If you have pots that are, I know a lot of you like to use the non-stick, which that's going to be for a whole other video, how to get rid of your non-stick and go on to some other material, because the non-stick pots, once they start to get scratched, they kind of leach poison into your food anyway, because that non-stick stuff is just no good. But let's talk about that. If you have pots that are non-stick and they're scratched, get rid of them and just invest in some cast iron or some stainless steel. But you don't want to be using pots that have these scratches in them, because they're not good for you. They're going to be leaching. Every time you cook in them, there are chemicals that are going into your food from that non-stick. Okay, so let's go through your pots, determine what pots you can get rid of and the ones that you really want to keep. Some of my favorite pots, I have a cast iron skillet that I use a lot. I also have stainless steel, and I have stoneware. I do not have any non-stick in my kitchen. So consider going through and getting rid of your non-stick, especially if they are scratched up. Okay. All right, let's go through the drawers, your utensil drawers. How many people are in your home? You can have, I would say maybe 2 forks, 2 knives, 2 spoons, big soup spoons, whatever, for each person that lives in your home. And I also have an extra, quite a few extra for people who may come. So you don't need to have a ton of utensils, but I know that that's one of the areas where I could use some help in decluttering. I love to have extra utensils around. Do you have plastic utensils in your drawer? Get rid of them. Get your metal utensils. Don't keep plastic around. Let's see what else. Utensils. Let's keep on utensils. What about the stuff that you cook with? I know I think the first time I went through, I gave away about 3 ladles and I think 2 slotted spoons and gosh, there were a ton of stuff, and I had like so many measuring cups that I didn't really need. So I packed. I think like I said, I ended up with about 2 big boxes of things ranging from pots to extra measuring spoons to extra utensils and like cooking utensils that I just got rid of. And because we don't need all of the extra stuff, I have just what I need in the kitchen to do the job. A few big pots, medium size, small pots, and then I have enough of the cooking utensils for me to do what I need to do. So go through those areas and determine what you can get rid of, what you can donate, and what you would love to keep. Plates. If you have cracked cups, get rid of them. They're number one. They're just not good when you're taking a sip and you have that little crack on there. And eventually that crack is going to get bigger. So go through and get rid of any cracked cups that you might have. What about plates? If you have plates that may have a chip, one of the best places to go and buy your new plates and cups is the Dollar Tree. You'd be amazed at what you can find at the Dollar Tree. So if you do have things that you can get rid of, that will now don't donate broken or cracked items. Just go ahead and get rid of them. And if you're really crafty, here's something that you can do. You can break up those plates or those cups, and you can use the broken ceramics, if they're the glass pieces, and you can create a really good, nice little mosaic table maybe, or you can do like a mosaic vase. You can reuse it, but if you're not crafty like that, just throw it in the trash. Just go ahead and get rid of it. Cleaners in your kitchen. If you have go through your cleaners, get rid of half empty bottle, maybe not half empty, but if you have bottles that have just a little bit left in there, go ahead and get rid of those. And Here's something that I would like for you to think about is going to like some more natural cleaners, getting rid of a lot of the chemicals from your home. Let this be the year that you go to more natural cleaners, because there's so many of these cleaners. They've got so much chemicals, and you use them, they get into your skin and they cause all sorts of disruption in your body. So this is something, but that's again another whole other video. All right, so let's talk about books. Again, that is one of my issues because I grew up with a library, literally like a library around me. And prior to moving into this home, I think I got rid of 2 bookshelves of books, and it pained me so badly to get rid of those books because I love to have books around me. I am not the Kindle person. I love the flip of the pages, and I love the smell of the books. Although I now have a lot of books on Kindle, but some of my favorite I still do have on the bookshelf. So, but if keeping a lot of books around is a problem for you and you realize that you do hoard a lot of books, go through them and see which ones that you can actually donate and which ones you don't mind having on a Kindle. If even if you don't have the little Kindle, I have a laptop that does have the Kindle app, so you can still download books for your onto your laptop, for that purpose. So go through and get rid of some of your books that you know that you really probably will not look at again. All right, toolbox. If you have a toolbox, whether you are a single mom like me or you're a family, um, go through your toolbox and see what items that are in there that you have so much of. Now, I understand that there are wrenches that come in different sizes, so chances are you need to keep your wrench set. But do you have pliers that have rusted so badly that you can't even pry them open, even with the amount of WD-40 that you put on them? Then get rid of them. Um, so go through your toolbox and examine each piece, determine what you need and what you can donate and what you can get rid of. That was one of the things that I did prior to moving here as well. So my toolbox is down to maybe not even 2 feet in height because I have several drawers that I keep things in. But I've donated quite a bit of tools. And as a single mom, I'm pretty handy with tools, so you know we need to have we need to have those things just in case we need to do any kind of fixing, right? All right, so let's talk about our knickknacks. Um, you might go traveling and you'll see a certain thing and you bring it back, and before you know, you have 100 of these things. Let's see, for example, shot glasses. What about snow globes? And I'm picking on myself here because shot glasses are one of the things that I used to collect, as well as snow globes. My daughter actually collected snow globes, so that's one of the things that she went through. And before we moved here, decluttered. So the question was for her, which of these snow globes do you not feel that attached to? And which of these are you completely attached to and you do not want me to get rid of them? Now, I think we had about 30 snow globes in her collection. And by the time she was finished going through them, we were down to 2 very large ones that had like maybe 6 different snow globes attached to that, and maybe 2 of the smaller ones. I think we end up selling, I think about 20 or 25, quite a few of them, but she decided to keep her absolute favorite ones that she just couldn't part with. And one of them was a very large Little Mermaid one. And even though she's in her 20s, she's still attached to that Little Mermaid. Well, I shouldn't say the Little Mermaid, but the snow globe actually has about 6 different globes on there. So if you have little knickknacks like that, go through and determine, at age 40, do you really need 50 or 100 shot glasses? Can you go ahead and just donate them, determine which ones you absolutely must have, and donate the others? Because like I said, things just they keep you back. they just kind of declutter, and the energy in your home just doesn't flow as well as it really needs to, because it clutter just blocks the abundance flow into your home. So you want to make sure that you declutter all areas. All right, so let's move on from knickknacks, and let's go into receipts. All right, so ladies, this is for you. I'm picking on you especially, but maybe some of you guys also do this. Take your handbags and empty them out. You can do it one at a time, but especially the one that you use a lot. Empty the contents of your purse onto the bed, onto the floor, and take a look at what's in there. Are there a ton of receipts in your purse? Maybe you go grocery shopping at Walmart or Publix or wherever, and you just take that receipt and you stuff it into your purse. Or maybe you take it and you stuff it into your wallet. Now, a lot of people don't really think about decluttering their purses or decluttering their wallets, but think about it. Your purse and your wallet, that's where your financial center kind of is, because you keep your purse in there. So if you're constantly stuffing that with garbage, and you're not even thinking about kind of organizing your purse, you're literally blocking your financial abundance flow. So one of the things I want you to do is to go through your purse, pull out all of those receipts. Now, if there are receipts that you have to keep, then you go to where your work desk is, and you find a way of organizing all of your receipts into a folder or some kind of file. But don't keep them in your purse, and don't keep them stuffed into your wallet or whatever the case is, because it just declutters that area. Now, again, do you have like makeup thrown in there? Do you have a ton of lipsticks thrown in there? Try to get one of those little organizers that you can put your makeup nice and neat. Um, I don't even know what they're called, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Little organizers where they're little spaces that you can put maybe your lipstick, a bottle of water, your wallet, and it keeps everything nice and organized in your purse. So think about getting one of those, and go through your actual wallet and pull out all of the receipts that are in there that you no longer need. Do you have a ton of credit cards in there? Are they disorganized? Organize your credit cards. Think about keeping some cash in there as well, but get rid of the receipts, because that's all that's doing is just blocking your financial abundance flow into your financial area, financial center. If that's where you keep all of your money, um, think about decluttering that area. And I know that's one area that most people don't really think about. All right, so moving on, toys. If you have kids, um, go through their toy box. If they're a certain age and if they're 5 years old and you still have toys from when they were 6 months, do you really need those? Think about donating to um, Goodwill, Salvation Army, or giving them to a friend who might have just had a child if they're still in good condition. You don't want to donate things that are broken, because then they become a safety hazard, especially for kids. Um, if there are choking hazards on there, or strings that might be broken, or knobs that come off easily, you don't want to donate things that are going to be hazardous to other kids. So just throw those away. We want to donate things that are in good repair. So go through the toy box and get rid of the toys that no longer are age appropriate for your children. Um, Now, if there's a particular toy that they were really attached to when they were younger, then of course you can go ahead and keep one or two. Like for my oldest son, he's going to be 25 this year, we have a Binya Binya toy. It's, gosh, maybe this size, and it's actually the little creature it's a polywog from the show called Gullah Gullah Island, and he loved that show when he was younger. And I remember when we were actually able to find this Binya Binya polywog, he loved it, loved it, loved it. So we actually still have that, and that's one of the items that we've kept from time that he was a baby. But other items, no. If you have older children and you got toys from that are no longer age appropriate, go ahead and donate, or just throw them away if they're not useful anymore. Um, okay, the next thing is, and a lot of people probably don't think about this, email, your inbox. This was huge for me. At the beginning, actually back in November and December, I started decluttering my inbox, my emails, and I got rid of thousands. And another thing when it comes to deleting your emails, not just deleting but also unsubscribing. Are you constantly getting emails pushed into your inbox on a daily basis from people that you subscribed to maybe 6 years ago, 7 years ago, but you don't even open their emails? So find one of those emails, go to the very bottom, and where there it's usually in like small writing, click unsubscribe, because all it is doing is cluttering up your inbox, and the stuff that you really need to see is getting hidden among all of the other garbage that's coming into your inbox. So detox or declutter your emails, your inbox, and keep the subscriptions to the ones that you know that you really need, and unsubscribe to those that you have not looked at or you really don't care about anymore. Because we all go through growth periods. So maybe 6 years ago that one particular email was really good, but you are not in that particular time of your life anymore. You've grown. So now you have new emails that are coming in that are helping with that particular growth period in your life. So why keep the other ones? Get rid of the old, welcome in the new. All right? All right, so we talked about the unsubscribing. Oh yeah, one of the notes I made, that sometimes we feel that we need to save that one email because maybe there's something in there that's going to help us later on. No. There's the internet. You can always just type in a few search words and you can find the material that you're going to need. So you don't need to keep your email, your inbox cluttered with things that you think you might need at some point in the future. Just get rid of it. So go ahead and manage your inbox. All right, so let's move on. All right, this is probably going to hit on a few nerves. We're kind of moving away from the material stuff into the kind of emotional decluttering that we now need to do. All right, think about the emotional baggage that you carry around. Maybe you're still harboring negative emotions from that horrible breakup you had 5, 10 years ago. All that is doing is blocking your love flow. Think about that. The love energy that is supposed to be flowing into you because you're looking for that, your next perfect guy. If you're still harboring negative energy from a previous relationship, you need to let it go. Release all of that. Now, if that person is holding on to stuff, that is on them. But you don't need to be holding on to it because it is blocking your flow here. So release all of that negative energetics that you're still holding on to, because you don't need that in your life anymore. So promise me that you're going to take this astrological new year to release all of these negative energies and call in more positive energy, call in more love, call in forgiveness. Now, you can forgive yourself, and you must forgive yourself for whatever part you played in all of the messy relationship, and you must also forgive the other person, because without that you're not able to move forward. Okay. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that they have to accept your forgiveness. That's fine if they don't, but it's not about them. This is about you and your ability to move forward, your ability to declutter all of the negative emotions that you might have been holding on to. Because if you don't release them, you're going to hold on. They're going to be continuously within you, and once you're filled with that negative energy, nothing positive is going to come towards you. So release all of that. Let that stuff go. All right, negative people. And again, this is a touchy one, but we need to learn to release negative people from our lives. And that could be friends that you've had for a while. It could be family members. And that's why I said this is a touchy subject. Because you have to be cognizant of the kind of energy that you're around. You have to be cognizant of the type of person you want to be, and the people that you are around, you actually soak up the energy of those people. So think about it. If you're in a room with five negative people, you are going to become the sixth negative person because you're going to absorb all of that negative energy. If you are in a room with five extremely upbeat, positive, know what they're doing, know where they're going, you are going to become the sixth, very upbeat, know where you're going, very aligned person. You know, there's a saying that said you are the equivalent of the five people that you spend the most time with. So on that note, let's move ahead to the next topic. All right. So, oh, I missed one. Social media. And this is probably going to be a really touchy topic for a lot of people. Think about the amount of time that you spend on social media. I know some of us, social media is our business. That's how we make a living. But there's some of us who just spend a lot of time and we have the phones in our hand and we're just, you get the picture? We're just literally scrolling and it is just sucking our energy from us. And we spend so much time just scrolling through and we waste a lot of time. So think about decluttering social media. Maybe you have a day where you completely unplug from social media. You don't go on Facebook, you don't post anything to Twitter, you don't go on Instagram, nothing. You just take an entire day free from all of the social media just to kind of recharge yourself because you know those type of energies really do drain you. So social media, take some time and just declutter that. Maybe you have a lot of different social media and some of them you're not really using. Maybe you have like 6 Facebook pages and you spend time on 3 of them. So do you really need the other 3? Maybe you think about deleting those pages, or maybe I don't know if there's a way of kind of incorporating them into taking those 3, incorporating them into one page. I don't know. That's something that you would have to check about. All right. So now that you've decluttered, you have to notice what and whom you've walked away from, and kind of what kind of changes do you feel within you. Um, think about the things that you've given away. Maybe there are things that you've stopped doing, things you've stopped craving, and things you've stopped needing. Because once you start to declutter and you see that there's so much room, there's so much more space, you are going to start to feel so good. The stress level, you will notice, goes way down because you're not having to deal with all of this stuff. You're not having to walk around boxes that might have been in your house since you moved in, or you don't have to constantly search for one item because there's so much other stuff sitting on top and you can't find things. Oh, one of the things I forgot to mention was most of us have in our kitchen what we call a junk drawer. We need to get rid of the junk drawer and use that drawer for other things. Maybe there are some items that you use on a regular basis, like a pen. Maybe there's a measuring tape if you don't keep it in the toolbox. But don't keep a junk drawer. The very thought of a junk drawer means that there's junk that's going to go in there. And that's just a whole other space to create clutter. And we're trying to declutter, right? So just think about the things that you've stopped doing, things you've stopped craving or needing, and you're looking at all of this new space that you have. Now is the time that you want to start setting your new intentions for the upcoming year. Maybe this is the one of the new intentions that you can set, or the new goals that you can set is I will never let my house get this messy again or this cluttered, and I will stop collecting things that I don't need. and I will start utilizing my time a little bit more efficiently, those type of things. When you start to let go of stuff, you start to release negative emotions, you start to create the space to allow the things that are meant for you to come to you, because there's not any of that clutter anymore. There's not any more of that energetic garbage that you're holding inside. So you allow the love that you need to come to you. You allow maybe that new job that you've been looking for to come to you. Maybe there's that dream piece of furniture that's out there and it's got your name on it, but you're still holding on to that leather couch that's got this giant hole that you've got a piece of duct tape over. Go ahead and get rid of it. Once we start to release all of this stuff, it actually opens the space, it creates the space to allow the things that are meant for us to actually come into us. All of those dreams that you now have, you can start working on them because you're not spending so much time cleaning all of the stuff that's in your home. Because the less stuff you have, the less time you spend cleaning, because the less stuff you have to clean. Think about that. So when you release what no longer serves you, then all of that really good energy starts to flow within your home. All right. You're now able to put all of the energy into creating the life that you want, the home that you want, because you've released all of that stuff instead of, doing CPR on the couch over there that has the hole and the blender that doesn't quite work really well, but you still need it to do your smoothies. Stop doing CPR on all of this stuff. Get rid of the stuff that you don't need. Get rid of all the broken stuff. Donate. Keep the stuff that you absolutely love, and that will help to create the space and allow you to actually create the life you want, to start working on those goals. And because too often we do CPR on the stuff, and we put the stuff on life support instead of, just saying, okay, this has this expiration date. It is time to get rid of it. And in doing so, your life will become amazing because you don't have the junk around you to deal with anymore. And life will blossom from here on out. So, like I've said, Happy New Year. Here are to new beginnings, because Aries is all about new beginnings. There's a full moon tonight. The sun is in Aries. It's a spring equinox. Happy growing on all of your goals. Happy blossoming. And I know it's not a really good thing, but happy decluttering, because once we get rid of all of this stuff we no longer need, life is going to be beautiful.